shine on you guys too much. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to fix the background here, but at this point, I think I'll just leave it like that, and that's it. Um, okay, do we have? Whoa, somebody else is joining. I see. So I'm gonna focus on you guys. So first of all, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate that. Um, I really wanted to create this so I can answer as many questions as I can. Um, and also, I'm going to tell you about a couple of things that is going on for me until the end of November for sure, maybe probably after that. Um, yeah, just wanted to be here for you guys, basically. So I'll just bring this up here. Um, so if any of you have any questions, since it's already 1 minute after, if any of you have any questions, um, we can start, answering questions.
Yeah, I have a question. You
Sure.
know, I've been meaning really to talk with you and do a one-on-one with you, but I've had mine for quite a while, like 8 to 10 years, and it kind of got worse, and because I hear it mostly at night, or especially when I get up in the morning, it's right there in my head when as soon as I wake up. But
Hmm.
so I'm just trying to think, like sometimes I get to, I think, how do I deal with that? Like,
Yeah.
it's a pretty rough situation. It's not really rough. It's, I've had it for so long and it just got to where I used to be able to could handle it better. But now it's like, it's there at night. What's there at night, especially when I go to sleep. And then first thing in the morning, when I wake right up, it's right. It kind of wakes me up.
Yeah, I completely understand. Let me ask you a couple of questions so I can give you the best answer, if that's okay.
Okay.
So what are you trying to do on regular basis to reduce stress level and help you sleep better? Are you doing anything specific right now or not really?
Not really. I'm just kind of wing it during the day and just go along my day. And, you know, uh,
Okay.
so I just kind
So
of, because I know you don't have no control over it because I've had it so long. It's just that I just go day to day and some days are better than others. It's just that the nights are pretty tough for me.
completely understand. And I just want to say that the one thing I don't agree with you is I think you do have control. At least, you have some control and you can work on skills that will increase your control. But so let's talk about the first thing. The first thing is you want to reduce your alertness level before you sleep. If you're focusing on sleep right now, you want to reduce your stress level and your alertness level. Probably you don't seem like a really stressed person, so I'm assuming it's just alertness and focus or attention to tinnitus. So what you want to do before you go to sleep, have a simple routine where you do some simple relaxation techniques, and I'll give you a few examples while listening to some really calming music, and that will kind of prepare you to go to sleep. So just reduce your alertness and give you something else to listen to other than the sound. And then if you do that on a regular basis, like each night, take 15 minutes and kind of do it, there's a better chance that you, first of all, you're going to probably sleep through the night better. And second is you just going to fall asleep easier without paying attention to tinnitus too much. So far, is that making sense? And then I'll give you a couple of examples.
Yeah. So you know what I'd like to do is so I can talk more personal. about it, my situation is do a one-on-one coach with you and get it because I've listened to all your videos and you seem to really hit it right on the money for me. I'd just like you just discuss my situation so you know more about it. And then we can go for the plan there, you know.
Sure, yeah, we can. I'm very happy to work one on one for sure. If you, what's the best way for me to get if you send me, where did you find me on YouTube or?
Yeah, I had a long time ago, I sent you a message, but I never got back with it. And I have to look through my emails 'cause I'm not really that good on the computer. So
Let
you
me
sent,
post,
I,
I'll post in a chat here, a link that you can use to just schedule whatever time works for you. That sounds good.
yeah, can you write down my email and send it to my email instead?
If I can see your
Это
email, I
чуваки,
will.
у которых жесткий tinnitus.
Let's see if I can see your email. If I can see your email, then I can do it.
I can give it to you.
Sure, let's do that. Just give me 1 second, I'll write it down.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry everyone, just give us 1 second and I'll focus back on everybody else. Okay, so go ahead, BJ.
It's
Um,
MLYNNSKI@yahoo.com.
SKI at yahoo.com. Just repeating it, MLYNNKI at
No,
yahoo.com.
no, it's MLYNNSKI.
MLY. Somebody has something in the background there.
Тебе не насрать,
Yeah,
что там творится?
yeah, it's like MLYNNSKI@yahoo.com.
Okay, okay, BJ.
Okay.
So just let me just finish answering the question quickly. So basically, there's like very simple relaxation techniques, there's a bunch of them. And from simple things like breathing, specific breathing patterns,
Okay.
and then you can do like a body scan, which is basically like you run through your body parts in your mind in a certain way. It's very calming, and you can do it even lying down. So you can lie down and do that, and really get ready for the night. And then again, play something calming in the background, and that way you fall asleep and you stay asleep, and you're probably gonna wake up early. Wake up without tinnitus being too loud. But there's also a technique for the morning as well, which I can talk about if you want.
No, why don't we talk about it when we can be one on one? And I'll just go ahead and listen to the
Definitely.
broadcast. So you got my email?
I believe I did. There was somebody was
Yeah,
talking like,
there was somebody in the background.
yeah, if you can type it in the chat to me, that would really help me. So I can, do you know how to, you can chat me directly in Zoom.
Let's see,
I,
mute, stop video, chat. So go to the chat.
Here, I'll send you a quick chat so you can see that.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me see. We have other people here. People that join, just so you know, you don't have to, but it's a video call. If you want to activate your video, great. If not, I'll take questions this way. It's no problem.
I'll go ahead and chat my email, send it to you, and then I'll just listen from the rest.
Yes, thank you, BJ. I appreciate
Okay.
it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, who wants to ask the next question? uh, Here, let me just unmute this guy. Did I mute everybody by mistake or something? Or did I? Can you hear me, BJ?
Yeah, I can hear you.
That's really weird. I see. Guys, you guys are on mute.
No,
So even
yeah.
if you're saying something, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me,
Sorry.
Guy? Can you hear me, Guy?
Yes.
Okay, so you're working on that end. Yeah, BJ works, I'm working. So ask the other, I can hear you. You can hear me, I can hear you. That's cool. So
Yeah. Do you have any questions, Mike,
yeah,
yourself?
I've got a question, and I think we've gone through it with the one-on-one, but I still want to ask it again. So when if you like, for example, BJ was saying when you get up in the morning and it starts off, is there a way once it starts that you can stop it? I think I've asked you this before. So in other words, if you hear the sound, you get up, is that going to be for the rest of the day? Or can you, I know there's the breathing techniques, there's mindful meditation, all that stuff. Is there a way of redirecting it so it just disappears into the back for the day?
Yes, exactly. So if you wake up and you immediately hear tinnitus and it's too loud, you can start doing a relaxation technique or play a sound. The first thing I would do, very first thing, is just play a sound, any kind of calming sound to you, just play it immediately. So your brain immediately has something else other than just tinnitus. The problem is that without an ambient sound, your brain just literally latches to the tinnitus sound.
Gotcha.
So just playing immediately some calming sound in the background, and it completely doesn't matter what, and will give your brain something else to focus on. Then, yes, then you can start doing really simple um, relaxation techniques or focus techniques that will help you go back to your day instead of focusing on tinnitus. So whether it's whether it's a redirection tool or whether it's a grounding tool. So there's, and by the way, this is something you will hear me say a lot. When I do coaching with people, I use a lot of different tools and I customize them per person.
Mhm.
And so there's two main therapies that are being used for tinnitus, for insomnia, for stress. And one of them is called cognitive behavioral therapy. CBT, you guys probably saw CBT showing up in different places. And then the other one is acceptance commitment therapy, which is ACT. Those two therapies give you a bunch of tools, really simple things, and I can give an example here um, of how you can stop focusing on tinnitus and going back to your day and do it successfully. Did I answer your question, Mike? And if I did, I can give the example.
Yeah, you did, Guy. You answered it. Yeah, you definitely. I mean, I
Okay.
said you've been my coach for the last 3 months, but I just, again, you know how I am. I ask a
Yeah,
lot of
you
the
can
same
share with them,
questions.
man.
I'll ask a lot of the
Yeah.
same questions. So, also, I've got another one. At what point, um, so you're on your journey with the sound, and so at what point can you be comfortable to sit in a silent room? I know they always say with the body sound or the sound, you should always have like YouTube music behind or some sound therapy going on. At what point will your brain habituate to so that you don't have to have it and you're confident that you don't have to have sound always in your ear or outside sound listening to it?
Mhm. It's different from person, and so guy, so Mike just said it. Mike and I have been working together for a few months, and yeah, I can let him speak about his progress, not me. Um, but to answer your question, each person is different. Um, it took me, so when I went through this, so just, I don't know how much you guys know about me. So I have very severe hearing loss and I used to have very severe tinnitus. I went through a pretty, pretty major breaking point some years ago, like 5, 6 years ago. And when I came on the other side, I started, trying to help people with this because I was like, I can't believe that there are tens or even hundreds of millions of people across the world that are dealing with this without help. So that's when I started to try and help people. Um, but the point is that I didn't have anyone that will guide me through this. So it took me, I think, around 6 months to get to the point where I can be in silence. I now, in fact, and I'm not saying that you should do it. I'm just saying when you get to the point where you're really habituated to the sound, I sit in silence all the time. I create scripts for YouTube, which is probably where most of you saw me. I create a lot of content and articles and stuff. And for me, I just like to sit in silence. So I can do it now. But it took me, without guidance, it took me around 6 months. I think with guidance, people can get to that point probably in 3 to 4 months. Does anyone else want to? There's a bunch of people here, but nobody else is speaking. So if you guys want to ask questions or even chat me the questions and I can respond to them.
So I have a question for you. When you say I just sit in silence a lot, but I hear it all the time, most of the time when I'm in silence. So, and sometimes it bothers me and sometimes it doesn't. It's not so much the
Mhm.
silence, it's the noise in the brain. Sometimes if it goes too high, it bothers me. If it goes too low, it's all right. But I think maybe on yours, since you've had like, is it that just because you think about it too much where it bothers you, or how do you get to the
Yeah.
point where you don't think about it because when it's there, and it's hard not to think about it. And I still go about my day, and then when I'm doing something, it doesn't really bother me. But when I stop doing it, or if I'm sitting in silence or just watching TV, it's there. So I just wanted to get your point of view because I've
Mhm.
listened to all your YouTubes and all your videos, and you really know what you're talking about, and I can relate to all of it. So I was just trying to get to that point where you're at, but I know it's going to take a while because I've had it like 8 to 10 years, and I've been
Yeah.
kind of battling it for all those years.
So here's the thing. It when you try to habituate to the sound, and habituate, by the way, means that your brain understands, I mean, your unconscious brain really understand that this sound is unimportant, that it's nothing that you should worry about. It's a refrigerator. That's why I like to talk. It's the example I give all my clients is that think of it as a refrigerator. If you're in the kitchen and unless you pay attention to the refrigerator, you don't hear it, right?
Right.
Or you don't hear your own breathing all day, and it's there. It's because your brain categorized those sounds as unimportant. Unless you're choking or something, your breathing doesn't make any difference. So part of the habituation process is to actually accept the sound, is to say, the sound is there, I know it's there, but it's just a refrigerator, or it's just my own breathing. It's something that is not really important. It doesn't it doesn't require me to focus on it. So the first step is when you accept it. But accept it doesn't mean it's going to stay there forever. It just means that you're helping your brain really stop treating tinnitus as a smoke alarm or as an alarm that is going off all the time.
Right.
Um, and once that's happening and your brain starts uh, treating the sound as unimportant, then it starts going back in the background, the background until it fades away. And that's the process at a 30,000 feet view.
Right. So I try to accept it, but when it's there, even when the refrigerator there, I hear it and I'm still having a really hard time accepting it. You know, I've had lots of days or hours or half a days where it's way in the background, and then I've had days where it's there all day. And I think the biggest thing for me is accepting the sound that I don't really like. You know, I
Um,
imagine you're probably right there at one time. You don't really, I don't think everybody on here really doesn't like it. But we have to accept what we don't like, you know? So that's the point, I think. How do I accept something I don't like where, well, you know, so so that's what, because I can relate to everything you've done. You know, you're real good at what you've done.
yes, yeah, I completely understand. You know, it's like we all been in situation in our lives where we are in a situation we don't like, but we have to accept it. It's called being an adult, you know.
Right, right, right.
It's kind of the same. No, I'm just joking, but it's completely understood. But there are two. This is exactly where those CBT and ACT tools that I was talking about before, this is exactly where they come into play. You start applying those tools to help you accept the sound.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So I can give another. I'll give an example, but I see a bunch of people and nobody's saying anything. So, guys, if you hear me, either come on the mic and ask a question, or unmute yourself and ask a question, or text. You can chat as well if you want. I'll see if I can. Um, yeah, Danielle, did you have a question? So ask it. Here we
Yeah,
not
hi
going.
everyone.
Oh, here you are. Yeah.
Yeah, hi
Hey.
everyone. So I have a question to everyone. So from from the beginning of all the stars that I would like to hear, if it's possible, if each one of you could tell me how does your tinnitus started? So because each of us we have some story. When does it happen? And I just would like to know how does it started at your point. So I because my tinnitus started when it's just I had a very, let's say, I took some not it's not a medicine, it's more like
Yeah.
let's say as a special pharma for the sports. So I took some Notropil and alpha GPC. And one day I took too much caffeine. The same day I had so much stress and I couldn't sleep the whole night. So I had panic attacks during the night and so on. And after that, for a whole month, I had some problems. I had blood pressure. I couldn't concentrate. My head was like dizzying and so on. And in just one day, I just woke up and I felt that something is like ringing or dizzy, like some sound in my ear. I was thinking about that it was just, I don't know, the sound from the computer, or it was sound from the uh, some electronic sound, yeah, which was I couldn't find where it
The,
comes from.
the,
So
Daniel,
the first day I just, yeah.
Daniel, let me interrupt you for a second. So you are asking people, you're saying that your tinnitus started by medication, and you're asking other
It's
people
not a
how their
medication.
tinnitus
It
started?
was not a medication. You know, it's like an average like sports like a protein or something. If you take something there, it's like creatine, and it's nothing special. It's not like real medication. Or if I was healing
Okay.
from something, it was not antibiotics or other stuff. So it was more like. The nootropill is it's working more like it causes more flow to your brain,
Yeah.
and your neurons work more frequently and more faster. So usually, for example, in Russia, the students take it during the sessions to learn more at night, so that they take this nootropill and just to stimulate the
I
brain.
understand,
So
Daniel.
I just, yeah.
Daniel, I understand.
I
I
took,
just don't want
yeah.
Daniel.
So I took it. Yeah. Yeah.
We don't need to get into too many details, but the point is that you
Okay,
took
okay.
something
I'm
that
just
caused the
explaining. You asked
tinnitus.
me, yeah, so I'm explaining to you. So, and that's after this, I had this. Uh, I think it was like my nervous system was in stress all the time during the day and night, and from I don't know about 1 month or 1.5 months after that, I felt some sound in my ear. Yeah, it just came,
Yeah,
just I
yeah.
woke up and I started to hear something. I couldn't understand what it
I
was.
understood. Yeah,
So yeah. So
yeah, I
this is
understood.
what
Yeah,
started from my side. I would like to hear how this started from the other side, from other people, their story.
yeah.
When did it start, and what was the I don't know, the starting point of it?
I understand. I understand. Do anybody else want to share? I can tell you my story. I'll tell you my story, but does anybody else want to share how or what they think caused the tinnitus or how they
Yeah,
got
because I
tinnitus?
think it's very important to know how does it started. So just to understand the cause of the tinnitus, yeah, because
Yeah, that
sometimes yes,
it's crucial. In
yeah,
fact, it's
yeah.
crucial. Yeah,
It
yeah.
could be the trauma, it could be something else, it could be medicine, it could be I don't know,
Hmm.
anything else. So it's really interesting for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll comment to that.
So
Are
here,
you?
someone just text us that for them, it was earplug at a concert. I'm not sure if he means that the earplugs were bad and then he got probably hearing damage from music or from sounds. I'm assuming, and that was my story too. I was, I guess, kind of stupid to damage my own hearing without even knowing. I used to amateurly race motorcycles, and I always had a full helmet on my head, like a full closed helmet. And I didn't realize that the wind noise that goes through the helmet can get up to 120 or even higher decibels. And that's how I damaged my hearing. After years of going on tracks and going really fast, that's what caused my own hearing damage and tinnitus, for example. That's my story. Oh, and the guy said that yeah, I was right. So the example he gave is that basically he was going to a noisy concert and the earplug weren't working, and that's how he got his hearing damage. Yeah, and I want to say that it's crucial actually for each one of you to understand the type of tinnitus that you have. And actually, I will give you an example why it is so important. So it's really important for each one of you to understand your type and possibly to understand why it happened. And I will give you give you an example actually while we wait for other people to chat or say something. But let me just give you an example. It's very possible for a person to have a medical condition that will create tinnitus, and it has nothing to do with hearing loss and nothing to do with other stuff, just a very specific medical condition. Like, for example, if somebody has cancer on the auditory nerves that goes inside your brain, that can cause tinnitus. If somebody has an injury in their neck or shoulder or head, that can cause tinnitus. So there's a bunch of different reasons for why you may have tinnitus. And it's really important to understand what is your type of tinnitus, because only then you can actually address it properly. So this is why it's very important to understand that. And you may have, like in my case, I'll give myself an example. My main cause for tinnitus is my hearing loss. I can show you guys pretty strong hearing aids. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. Um, Without these hearing aids, I'm pretty much deaf. uh, so um, I use these hearing aids, and this was my main cause of tinnitus. But I also had a kind of a back neck injury that is causing a lot of stress in my neck muscles and my shoulders and my low back. And the neck and the shoulders can send signals to the brain that go right close to the auditory nerves. And think about two electric wires which are really uh, going right over each other. If one of them have signals on it of pain, it can spill over to the other wire. So this is exactly what's happening when you have stress in your neck and your shoulders, or you have TMJ issues, for example. That can cause tinnitus as well. So you really need to understand what is your type and what is causing it to know what to do, basically.
So I have a
And
question.
somebody's asking question.
Can you hear me, Guy?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Good job.
Okay, I'll just give you a little bit of mine. Uh, stress and noise did me in. Because I woke up one day years ago, my ears had popped because I was really at this stressful job. And then I was a welder for 30 years and I was around noise all the time. And then I would go to concerts and I'd have the wrong earplugs in. And so I think it's more stress and noise. But the thing with me is I can hear real good. So that's about where
You
I am
think
at. Huh? Maybe I can
you?
think.
I'm just joking. You think because
Yeah.
you should do a hearing test. If you've done a recent hearing test, you can know for sure what's your hearing damage level, if yes or no. But that's the only way to really know for sure. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, I go to the VA clinic and I have hearing aids, and she says my hearing's really good, and I have a little masker
Oh,
noises
good,
in
good. Okay.
and I have a little masker noise if I really want to use the hearing aids, and I can use them maybe to, like you say, I know the level of it, your tinnitus, you want to keep it one level below your tinnitus so you hear your tinnitus. So sometimes I do
Exactly.
that, but then sometimes I just try to deal with the tinnitus. And I think that's my hardest symptom is trying to manage it more. And
Yes.
so maybe when we can talk one-on-one coach, and then I can really get to detail about my situation. Okay. I'll let it go and I'll listen to you.
For sure. Now I have your email and I will contact you right after.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
And I see someone, I think Mike asked a question. So if you have teeth through hearing loss, but also a neck issue, if you get your neck issues corrected, the teeth can disappear. So basically, I'm gonna try to answer the question. If your tinnitus is being caused by two different things, you really need to address both. So if, for example, my hearing loss I treat with the hearing aids, and I treat with relaxation techniques and sound therapy and all that kind of stuff. And then the neck, shoulder pain and stress, you need to do exercises to relax this, to relax the tension, the muscles, give yourself back uh, movement. If you lost movement, you need to give it back to yourself. And so, but if you take care of both issues, whatever your issues are, then the result should be the tinnitus is going to go way lower. But once your brain notices tinnitus, the in most cases, not all, but in most cases, you still need to do relaxation and sound therapy. This is because once your brain pay attention to tinnitus or creates a tinnitus, actually, the brain creates it, and then it pay attention to it. The only, the most effective way, let's just say that way, the most effective way to for tinnitus to disappear or to be much lower is to explain to your brain again that this sound is unimportant. It came, maybe the sound was generated due to an injury, due to hearing loss, whatever the reason was. But now that you are taking care of it, that sound is unimportant. So that process is still what you would have to go through because once your brain pay attention to tinnitus, it's just it's an alert. It's like a smoke alarm going off, and you need to just work with your brain to understand that that smoke alarm is unimportant. You need to ignore it. So the process still stays the same, even if you resolve the original issue. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, I see someone that is administrator, and John and Danielle already talked. Um, And how do you explain that to your brain?
Yeah, I'd like to know that one too.
Well, that's a good question. So that's exactly what the tools I was talking about. So you explain this to your brain by um, by doing a few things. One of those things is saying is self. You just literally say it to yourself, in a of course in a specific way, and then embrace. Pick your priorities in life. You know, whether it's work, whether it's family, whether it's something else, and you literally work on saying to yourself, okay, I hear the sound, but it's just not dangerous and it's not important. And now I'm going to focus on something that I actually want to do, need to do. So you're training your brain to basically, um, ignore the sound and then focus on something that actually matters to you. Because when you focus on tinnitus, unless you're very specific profession I don't know about, it's unproductive time, right? When we are focused on tinnitus, when we are worried about tinnitus, it's basically unproductive. It's not helping us. It's not helping our families. So what you want to do is you want to shift your attention back to the stuff that really matters to you, whether it's enjoyment or work or anything else. So it's a process. I'll give an example actually. I want to give a couple of examples. Let's see if somebody else. I have a question for the group. Does anyone have tea in 1 year about? Yeah, people can answer. You guys, so in the main chat, some people, yeah, I'll give an example. And let me just quickly take time, like exactly 30 seconds, and here 1 year. Okay, so let me take 1 second or 30 seconds and announce something. So far, for years, I've been working with people one-on-one, just one-on-one, and that works. That's probably the most effective way to work with people because I can fine-tune everything I do with a person to be the more effective to them. But some people ask me if I could do a group, like a small group uh, coaching. and I'm open to try that. The only thing about group is that you need to find people that actually can fit a group. So if somebody is deeply troubled with their own tinnitus and it's very significant or it's severe tinnitus, it will be really hard to work with a group because they need the most attention on what they're experiencing. Um, it's probably people that have a little bit less severe tinnitus and are just trying to focus back on productivity, on the whatever they care about, and they are very comfortable working with a small group. These are the kind of people who the group coaching will work for. So I'm gonna try and do that. If we get 4 or 5 people, I'll try to do that. The good thing about that, it will probably be much less. First of all, I don't. Everything that you guys see on YouTube, on the community, if you're in the community, they have a free community. If you're not, share all the information. All my knowledge is right there. And the only thing that I charge money for is when I work one on one or when I work, just individually with people. And I don't, comparing to other people, I really don't charge that much. This is what other people told me too. But the group cost will be around probably half of that because I have a group to work with instead of one person. So that will be the benefit is that the group will probably much less expensive than one-on-one. Um, that's one thing. But again, people have to be comfortable doing that. And as soon as I get 4 or 5 people that are interested, then I'll contact those people and we can start timing that and we will start a group session. And if anybody here is interested in a group session, just message me or chat me via the community and I'll get back to you. So that was just one quick announcement I wanted to make. So let's see. Let me give an example. I see people say, so somebody asked if you have tinnitus in 1 year or both years, or some people said 1 year, some people said both. Um, okay, so let me give an example. So let's say there's two main situations that people find themselves in with tinnitus. There's one situation where you are either too worried about it or you're too focused on it. So let's say that I'm trying to walk now, I'm trying to, create a video for my channel or something. And as I'm trying to focus on work, I start worrying about it. So it's like, what if this thing will never go away? What if it means that I have other medical conditions? What if like what if, and I keep worrying and worrying, and I try to focus on be productive, and I just can't. And I say, okay, no, I have to be productive. And I started to work, and then I go back to those thoughts. So this is what we call a worry loop or a thoughts loop or a focus loop. And the way that you want to break it is to engage things that your brain cannot ignore. So we are, as human beings, we have 5 senses, and we can use those senses to break this kind of a loop. What we would do, we will start engaging our eyesight, smells or touch. We're going to start engaging those senses in a way that will stop this. So, for example, I'll just show you a really simple example. I can just sit back and relax, and I can say, I see a picture. And slowly, the point is not to do this quickly, is to relax. And then I see my dog's bald over there. It's just a stupid example. I see my helmet. I see a lamp. You just kind of take the time to acknowledge the different things one by one. Then maybe I use my smell. I'll go, I smell my shirt. pretty good. Just came out of the laundry, so it smells pretty good. Then I can say I smell this cup of water. So you engage those different senses. If you go through a routine, there's two main routines that you can do to start engaging your senses like that. And when you do it slowly, you will find that by the time that you're done with those kind of a senses loop, you stopped the worry loop. The worry loop stopped. Now, of course, you can go back to it if you're not careful, but that stopped the worry loop because your senses, all our senses, are hardwired into the brain. The brain can't ignore that. See, the worry loop is something that your brain is doing on a thought level. But your senses, it's like hardware. It's like you plug in a wire into the brain. That's the senses. So when we are doing that, we are stopping the brain from that worry loop. And then we have to take a breath, just a deep breath, maybe do a breathing technique, and then go back to what you are trying to do. This is one example. Yeah, this is a known CBT tool, so yeah, you can find some of them online for sure. But if you're in a place where you cannot smell or taste something, you can always smell your own shirt, unless you don't have a shirt. Smell your skin. You can always do that. And you can always touch stuff. So the other thing is touch. Touch is very strong. So just take something, pick it up, touch it. I touch a charger. I touch a mouse. You actually say that as you're doing it. No, don't just touch it quickly. Just take it in your hand and say, I touch a mouse. I'm touching a charger. Just like that, slow, one by one. Any questions on that? Or I can give one more example. Okay,
So,
so let me give you another example of a different situation. Another situation is that this is probably once you start working on getting some relief and calming your nervous system. Um, what typically happens to people is they start thinking about tinnitus. So let's say again, I am watching a TV show or I'm trying to be productive. It doesn't really matter. But the point is, I'm trying to do something that actually matters to me. And as I'm doing that, I find myself start thinking about tinnitus. So this is not a worry loop. I'm just starting to think about it. I'm starting to worry about it. So in that moment, you can use visualization as a tool, and visualization is a very strong tool in doing a bunch of different things in your life. And training your brain to focus away from tinnitus is one of them. So what you would do, you would either visualize maybe a stream, like a river that has like leaves on it, leaves, or maybe clouds in the sky, and above you, and you see the clouds in the sky, and you can imagine the tinnitus, the sound or what's bothering you, is on the cloud or is on the leaves on the stream. You just pick one that connects to you better, and you do that instead of fighting with the thought. So when you start thinking about tinnitus, the biggest mistake people do is that they start saying, no, no, I don't want to think about tinnitus right now. Oh no, I don't want tinnitus to bother me right now. You kind of get into that kind of fighting it instead of just accepting it and letting it go. You find yourself start focusing it too much. By trying not to focus on it, you actually focus on it. So what you should do is just do one of these visualization. You just kind of close your eyes, say, I acknowledge I'm thinking about tinnitus. Like you're saying that I'm thinking about tinnitus. But now I'm gonna picture that cloud that has tinnitus on it, and this cloud is floating away from me. I can see it. I can visualize it just floating away from me and going back and going away from me. And I'm going to go back to focus on my TV show or my work, whatever you were doing that moment. So this may sound like, how is this going to help you? But trust me, when you practice visualization again and again, it will start being more and more powerful for you. And that's a way to deal with the thoughts before they become a loop. That's how you can shift them away from you.
That's a real good example. That's real good. It is good.
Not necessarily. Guys, there's people in this. I don't know, different people here. So be nice, please.
No, it is a good
But
example, though. It is a really good example. It's yeah, I understand.
yeah, no, somebody was asking, but in general, it's not a matter of screw it or whatever. It's a matter of, so somebody was saying the point is just say whatever tinnitus. Yeah. At the high level, yes, but not as fighting it, not to fight it. It's to accept, okay, the sun is there, it's not dangerous. Now I'm gonna go back to what I want to do, I need to do. You're giving yourself back the control. So instead of focusing on tinnitus, you're focusing on what you want to do, and you use a bunch of tools to do it. So in essence, yes, but not as a fighting screw it, as a accepting it and moving on kind of a way, if that makes sense.
I have another question. Some of
Yeah, go
you
on.
have, does some of you have a symptom or I don't know, a feeling of clogged air, like something like if you like swallow the salad air, yeah, so it's like pop, like popping or opening the air. So somebody have this like symptom or feeling or not?
I'm quiet, so other people will answer you, chat you back or something. Does anybody else have a popping in the
I mean,
ears
yeah, because I'm
or
asking it because, for example, I have this feeling, and sometimes like during the day, so if I swallow, so my like right ear is like opening or popping, so like sometimes, and sometimes not, but mainly it does. And so this is why that I'm thinking about maybe it have some, I don't know, the some pressure in some kind of spiral air inside the ear, something like this. Because if I close my nose and put the pressure like inside, and it's also like opening. This is why I'm also thinking about maybe it's like the TMJ problem, yeah, the problem with the jaw or something with the, I don't know, the neck muscles or
yes?
something like this. But so it's just like everything that you feel is not just that you feel it spontaneously, yeah. There is a cause always. So you have to understand your body, you have to feel your body, and if you have something that is not as simple as is just like ringing or something, so you have to put attention on it, yeah, and talk to your doctor, I don't know, or that this is why what
Mhm.
I'm asking, does some of you have this or not, for example?
Yeah, so I'll just explain quickly why this is happening, and then other people, again, people feel free to chat, come off the microphone. I mean, unmute yourself and speak. But basically, there are a few different systems in our head and neck area that are all connected. there's a tube between your ears and your throat. There's a tube that is responsible for different things, and one of them is also pressure that going from your ear and your neck. And when that tube gets blocked by, maybe you have maybe you're sick, maybe you have a flu, maybe you have sinuses infection, maybe you have allergies. Even allergies can trigger that. That tube can become partly blocked, and when it's partly blocked, you start feeling like fullness, like your ears are full, like they're like somebody's closing your ears, or you have pressure in your ears, or all these kind of symptoms are coming up from either that tube that is going around here inside, of course, or there are also middle ear muscles. So, for example, I'm lucky to have another condition I will tell you in a second, which is called TTTS. It's where the middle ear muscles, so in your ear, there are muscles that are responsible to actually protect your hearing. So when you're exposed to really loud sound, your the muscle will shut close your ear canal. So your hearing is not gonna get damaged all the time. The problem with this muscle is that it can get to the point where it's twitching, just like your eyes can twitch and do it like this. Your this muscle can twitch as well. As it closes and open, it creates sounds. It creates like clicking sounds, and it also can create the feeling of fullness. So if this muscle is not functioning 100%, you can start feeling fullness or pain or pressure inside your ear too. So this is why you're right, Danielle, that if you're feeling those things, it's best to go to an ENT and get it checked out, because it could be either the tube or the muscles inside your ear.
Yeah, thanks, Guy. Yeah, because it's also started after that I had a, let's say, a very bad flu. Yeah, with a very hard. I was
Exactly.
coughing a lot. I was coughing a lot, and I was thinking about maybe I had the COVID or something because my lungs were so full, and I had the problem with the coughing. I had the cough from during the day. So it was so bad. I was even thinking that my lungs will just, I will just throw it out. And after that, even now, it's already like 4 months, I think, because it started in the July when I was on my vacation. And even now, I during the morning when I wake up and I have this very bad cough. So it's something like is I feeling that is something is going on to come out, and maybe this is also because it's all connected here, the throat and the ear and the nose. And I know that I have some allergy problems also in my nose. Yeah, like a small sinus or something. And so this is maybe it's also because I have a cough still during this day. So I'm going to see my doctor on the next week. So we will see the pulmonologist
Good,
who will
good.
check my lungs. What he will tell about this all the story. So you have to think all the time, and this is what I want to tell to everybody. Just uh, all what Guy is saying is always all those procedures and to treat like uh, visualization, and you have to stay calm, and the breathing techniques and the other stuff is also very important. But don't forget to check your physical like
Yes, yes.
problems. Yeah, so which can be also a cause of all of this. Let's say.
Yes, you're completely correct. This is why before earlier I said that it's really important that you identify what is your type of tinnitus. You may have more than one type, like yours truly here, or and not all, and what's causing it. So the type and the cause are really important to identify. You're completely correct. Yes, it's really important because you may have physical things or medical condition that creates tinnitus, and if you don't find out what's happening, it will just get worse and worse. So yeah, you're completely right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so this is why I also don't I'm searching right now, yeah, because I have made this MRT, this magnet, this if you go, yeah, this magnogram on your brain in the head, they check everything is fine. So the hearing,
Good.
the audiometry from the doctor, it all also was fine, and everybody said, okay, this is we cannot see any problems that you have, so maybe you should take antidepressants, or maybe it's because all of your stress. But I was thinking, okay, maybe it also the stress can be the problem, but those clogged airs and this popping in the air, and what you said, if you had sometimes your ears have to close if you have very loud sounds, yeah. So I also heard this before for about like 6 months ago, maybe a year. Sometimes it was like I felt something like plug, like those sounds in my ear, like something is opening and closing, like for 20 seconds, and then but it disappear. Yeah. So so yeah, it was maybe already a half a year ago. I started to feel something, but I just didn't put attention on it. So yeah, and I also started to hear uh, some sounds very loudly. I don't know why. I also went to a cinema with my daughter, and I started to see there was a very loud the movie with the special effects and very loud noises, and it was horrible. I was sitting from the start. I was thinking about, oh shit, I just cannot sit there and hear it. And but before it was not a problem because this system in the ears, it was like blocking the sound, yeah, and you can sit in the theater, in the cinema, with no problems and watch very loud noises in the movie. And right now, uh, it's a little problem, let's say.
Yeah, Daniel, yeah, we got it. You're right about all this stuff. And by the way, I just wanted to um, share a couple of things here. So from now until the end of the month, the end of November, in the US, and I think in Europe too, I'm not sure, but there's like the big holiday sales and stuff. I'm gonna start offering a 10%, which it's pretty big discount, 10% for all the things that I do, all the coaching, so the group coaching and the one-on-one coaching, and it will be in effect not just for the firm. So typically the program is 12 weeks, so it's every week, weekly meetings for 12 weeks, and the reason it's 12 weeks, it's how you progress, and I will explain this in a second. So the discount will affect the entire program, not just the first month. So we'll have a 10% discount for everything. Just wanted to share that. And I can explain how the program works if people are interested, because I think that's how you can see how you can get relief, lasting relief. If that is that interesting for you guys to see the program? BJ, is that interesting? You're the only one I see, so.
Yeah, yes, yeah, I'm interested in the program. I just don't know how to turn my picture off, so it's all right. I don't care if everybody
Okay,
sees me. Yeah, I'm
so
interested in that.
I'll share my screen here, and hopefully you see the right stuff here. So you should see, um, if it's too small, I can make it bigger. Let me just close this here. You guys see text, like, is it too small, BJ?
Well, because I'm looking I usually don't look on my phone. I usually do this through my laptop.
Oh,
So,
you're on the phone. Okay, I'll try to make it bigger. Just one second
no,
here.
that's fine.
Okay,
Now I can
So
see it.
basically, the program, typically people make progress in 3 steps. The first step is that you really want to stabilize. So let's say that you're dealing with tinnitus right now. It's stressing, it's frustrating, it's there's a loop which I didn't talk about. Nobody asked me about, which I was surprised. Stress is actually a big cause of tinnitus. So hearing loss is probably one of the biggest ones. And then stress and anxiety are huge causes for tinnitus. Not for all people, but for many people. And some people develop stress from tinnitus. And that is the thing I want to talk about. There's a loop that is called that is stress, and then tinnitus, and then lack of sleep, and then more stress, and then tinnitus is louder, and lack of sleep, and it's like this. It's like a vicious loop. So even if you started that loop with tinnitus, it can cause lack of sleep and stress, and then will make tinnitus worse and all that. So one of the first steps is to get you relief and to get you stabilized so you can get out of this loop. Because until people are out of this loop, it's really hard to make progress. It's really hard to start thinking, oh, tinnitus is okay, oh, I don't care about it. It's really hard to do when it's making you crazy, right? So it's really stressful. So the first phase is relief, is we start by just really calming your nervous system, reducing your alertness. What people don't realize, there's a big difference between stress and alertness. Alertness is just your brain's way to increase the focus volume. So think that you have like a volume, alertness volume focus, and if you increase it very high, everything you experience is just like, whoa, it's just like so overwhelming. Either sounds or things that are happening around you or events in your life, everything is going to feel and sound and be just overwhelming. So this is the alertness. So what we are trying to do is reduce your alertness as well as reduce your stress. It's two different things. Um, and then, so that will also help with reactivity. If you have reactive tinnitus, that helps with that. It will start improving your sleep, and you're going to start being more calm, more, like just more like a whole. Um, so most people get to that phase within 2 to 4 weeks. And it's really impossible for me to say, is it 2 or 3 or 4 weeks? Because each person is different. It's completely individual. But between 2 to 4 weeks, you will feel the first big or significant improvement. The second phase of the program is the transformation. Now we are going to start training your brain, like I was telling you about, that tinnitus is just a silly sound. It's unimportant. It's not an alarm. It's just nothing that you need to pay attention to. And then you start responding to it differently. So when your brain is embracing that, everything becomes better because you're just starting to go back to what really matters to you, and you stop reacting to tinnitus. Every time a tinnitus comes and it makes you upset right now or it makes you frustrated, that reaction will stop or will at least diminish. And that typically also take around 2 to 4 weeks to do that. And then we use all the tools that I gave you a couple of examples about from. Um, and that is a transformation. You are now transforming your relationship with tinnitus, basically. And then the last part of the program is now really to focus on, is to go back to just living quality life. The whole point of what we are doing with this whole tinnitus relief program or goal or whatever is to go back to live our own life. We want to focus on the things that we want to focus on. We want to enjoy the things we want to enjoy. it's just like a basic fundamental desire that all of us have. So this is the last part, is we just integrate everything. It just becomes part of you and it becomes an autopilot. And this is goes back to the question that somebody asked me at the beginning, the very beginning, somebody asked me, uh, how do you know, how do you deal with tinnitus when you're in a quiet environment? Or can you be in a quiet environment? The answer is yes, because when your brain flies on autopilot, when all your responses and reactions are automatic, everything becomes more manageable. You don't need to actively manage it so much. It just happens because your brain understands that that sound is not important. So your brain automatically will shift away from it and allow you to focus on something. So the last part is just really building this into you, and it becomes just part of your life, and you're back to just living your quality life. That is the point of the last part. And we're using the tools, we're building resilience, and it just everything becomes just part of you instead of something that you have to do all the time. This is the last part. Does anybody have any question? I'm gonna stop sharing now. And if anybody have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
No, it all sounds good. Sounds real good.
Thank you, BJ. I want to thank all of you that came and joined me. You took some time from your weekend, and I was really trying to make this available for people in different, because as you can see now, we have people from Europe, we have people from the US, we have people from Canada, we have people from all of like a bunch of countries in this small group right there. So I really wanted to make it available to as many people as possible. So thank you so much for joining me. Remember, if you're not in the community, you can join for free and you can keep getting all of my information and all my articles and everything, and just share your questions. People answer, I answer the questions. So just be I'll actually let me just show you um I'll show the I'll show the community quickly here so people can see it if you're not there already. So this is the community. It's the Tinnitus Research Toolbox. And again, I'll try to zoom in a little bit here. There's the classroom where you have courses about sound therapy and relaxation techniques. And you see, when I was talking about relaxation techniques, there are a bunch of different simple things that you can do. They are all listed here on the community. So they're all here. And so you have a classroom, there's the calendar where events are happening. If this was a good event today, then I can do this more often and I can answer more questions more often. I'll be happy to do that. You can see, by the way, on the map here that you have people from all over the world in this community, literally everywhere. Maybe, oh, even Australia. Yeah, so you can see that. But there's a question area. People can post questions and I will answer them, and other people help each other. There's just articles. There's a bunch of articles that I share with you guys, and riddles that kind of to tease your brain a little bit. Nobody answered this riddle yet here. And so it's just a lot of information that supports your journey to relief, basically. So again, thank you so much, guys. It's been awesome. I'll plan to do this again, especially if people tell me that this was helpful. And have a great weekend wherever you are. And thank you again for joining, and stay in touch.
Good, thank you.